All right. Good evening, everyone. This is Deshaun with the Fighting Carrier right here live stream right now. It is 12:54 a.m. and I am still up. About to head to the gym in a minute. I'm off tomorrow, or today, so it's all good. It's all good. So I am here. World Series is done. Dodgers won, and my team, as you can see, Cincinnati Reds is my team. We got a new manager, so we shall see how next season goes. Right now, 49ers they got a bye week this weekend, and the Buckeyes we got Penn State. So who knows what's going to happen with all that. They barely squeaked by the Cornhuskers, and interesting football weekend. But I'm here this evening. A lot of updates here. Got some exciting news. Something I'm thinking about doing, which is going to require help from my fellow carriers here, Postal Blues. But just give me your thoughts with this idea. See what you guys think about it. But I got my show prep right here, all ready to go. I'll try to be quick tonight. I usually spend a lot of time just talking, but it's fine. I enjoy talking. I enjoy this platform. I want to give you some updates on some things as well. But first thing I want to say is, I'm very, very excited to see as I go through the clean sweep page. I'm seeing a lot of different news articles up, and the news articles I'm seeing is showing how we as carriers we just do not like the tariff agreement at all. We know it's just not good, and it's good to see that the local newspapers are picking these articles up. However, we need to do more. We need to continue to contact our local media, let them know, voice your opinions, call them up, send them an email, write to them and say, hey, we do not like this tariff agreement. The post office, NALC, they're violating a federal law, the pay comparability. Our rates should be compared to that of UPS. In fact, when you read that law on the USPS.com website itself, it even mentions how we should even be better than the private sector. If UPS, if they have 100% of their insurance covered, ours should be 100%. If they top out in 4 or 5 years, we should top out in 4 or 5 years. Our starting pay should be $43 an hour, and top out at what is it, 49, whatever they got, 46, something like that. Whatever the top is. It should take us 5 years to reach that point. CCAs, that should be non-existent. And when you get hired on, it should be a PTF. And PTFs, they should come in starting off at $40 an hour. There's no reason to start off at $20. Then you got the clerk craft, who they could stay inside all day in air conditioning and heat. Occasionally go outside to tap the boxes for the end of the day collection. But we should be making more than they do. CCAs, again, that should be non-existent. They're only getting $1 more raise. I mean, that is just nonsense. Brian Renfroe is a liar, a narcissist. He has failed the membership. And this show is dedicated to getting rid of him, doing what we can, because he is a joke. He is a joke, and he needs to go. So I am excited to see all the news reports out there, but we got to up our game. We get more and more local newspapers involved, and hopefully it picks up to a national network. I know I'm working the local areas here in the Nebraska area where I'm at. But we gotta do more. And so I encourage everyone to, whatever your local station is, your local stations, local newspapers, and then again, don't forget the podcasters out there. The podcasters, that's the new media. that is the new media, and that's why I know I'm doing this as well, and be part of the new media. But that's gonna be later in the show tonight, as I have an idea that I want to share with everyone to see if we can do this. Like I said, it's going to require some crowdfunding or something in order to be able to accomplish this, to establish this. But that's for later in the show, and so I'm gonna just tease that out right now and let's get your thoughts and your feedback. Another thing I'm excited to see is when I go through the Fighting Carrier page on Facebook, as well as the Clean Sweep page on Facebook. I'm very excited to see so many branches, so many people are just saying no to the garbage contract. We know that Renfroe and his cronies and executive board, they are doing all they can to try to sell this contract. Those who support Renfroe, they're doing all they can. Now, we've had some people in my region, in my area, went to a meeting last weekend, and my steward, drank the Kool-Aid and, changed their mind on the agreement to a yes. And, I'm still a hard no. It's not going to happen. So they're working overdrive in order to try to convince the leaders of different stations to support this tentative agreement. But I am a hard no. No amount of convincing can do it. We saw that Renfroe is using that postal math, and I want to thank the people, those who did the math, those who dug deeper and looked at those numbers, to say that Brian is including in those numbers the COLAs as well as step increases, things that shouldn't even be a part of the calculation, because the COLAs, he's guessing what those COLAs may be in the future. The ones we already got, that's fine. And then it's only a percentage of the COLAs too, as well, instead of being 100%, like with the APWU. It's when we look at Brian Renfroe, he does not represent the carriers. He advocates for management. He advocates for the USPS. That's who he fights for. That's who he works for. He does not fight for the city letter carrier. And for that reason alone, he needs to resign. He needs to step down. So demand his resignation. He needs to go. He needs to go completely. We're tired of him. But I'm so glad to see so many say no, despite the efforts that the executives and those who support Renfroe are doing to try to get people to support this. I'm a hard no, and so I am very happy to see so many no's out there for that. I happened to see Brian a little bit on the Labor Network. I really didn't listen to it all, because when I see Brian's face, it's just disgusting to me. I get so disgusted and irritated by Brian that I can't get through more than a minute or so of hearing his voice, seeing his face, because he is nothing but a liar and a narcissist, and he needs to go. But I did hear Corey Walton call in to the Labor Network, and I enjoy how he fought for the letter carrier and how he just mentioned, the CCAs, they're only getting $1 more per hour. And I remember from Ada Arbitration the other day, he mentioned that that's like a cup of coffee at McDonald's. That $1 is a cup of coffee at McDonald's. So I heard him on that show, and it was interesting. And he pretty much called Brian Renfroe out, because again, Renfroe represents management. He does not represent the letter carrier craft at all. So it's good to hear that. It's good to hear the word going out to news media out there. It's good that so many are saying no to this contract. Um, on the clean sweep page, someone mentioned that Rolando. I don't know if it's true or not. I haven't seen it written down anywhere. I haven't heard anyone else mention this. But it's out there. So I thought I'd just let you know. Someone mentioned that Rolando is going to put forth the candidate to run against Brian. And I thought that was interesting. If that is true. But even if he were to do that, if Rolando were to have someone run against Brian Renfroe, because even he's sick of Renfroe, with Rolando, I wouldn't trust whoever he puts forward, because you gotta understand Brian is a Renfroe, or Brian is a Rolando flunky. He was put into place at the Rolando. He's been there all this time, and I just wouldn't trust anyone that Rolando sits with, because I got issues with Rolando as well. If anyone who's heard my past content before know that he failed us as the forgotten TE carriers. He's the one that put together the 2-tier pay system and the CCA system. That's Rolando. He did all that, and when he had the chance to reduce that pay gap with one of the recent contracts, he failed to do so. He could have did something like the APWU did, but that's another story. Rolando is not to be trusted. If you hear him say that he's going to put forth a candidate to run against Brian, just dismiss them. I am supporting CLC candidates, just because the reason I can support them is because when I hear the passion in Corey's voice, I know that he cares about the carriers. He's got the same feelings that I have towards the people here that I work with. When I first came to my new office, and management would just talk to our carriers or abuse our carriers any type of way, I spoke up right away, because I'm like, you're not treating my people that way. You're not going to treat my carriers that way, my friends. We got one task to do, and that's to deliver that mail. And I'm not going to let you talk to my people any old kind of way. And I'm not even a steward. I'm not a steward. I probably should be. Maybe one day I'll do that, but for now, this is the only way I know how to fight right now. Our station already has a steward, and it was only 4 of us carriers there, regular carriers. So it's a very small office. But you're not gonna talk to my people that way. I'm not gonna. If I'm standing by, I'm gonna tell you, hey, there's no such thing as a 5-minute cleanup time at the end of the day. It says a reasonable amount of time in the JCAM, and it gets no time. It takes what it takes to get your stuff marked, especially now with the political season, where you got to mark up all the political mail, and that takes time. And you got to separate that into a separate bin so the clerks can go through it, and in addition to the other things that you got to do. So these people, they want to take advantage of the carriers and those who don't know any better with them. And then you got management that wants to have the carriers run, CCAs run. I come back, CCAs are delivering mail to vacant houses, even though it's marked, or even though I got a red tag in there that says, hey, this house is vacant. They rush, they don't care. And I try to tell them, try to educate them in that way. Try to let everybody know to read the JCAN, read the M41 and M39 to understand your rights and whatnot. And I know it's hard. Not everybody's going to do that. And so that's going to be another part of this new idea that I have, that's going to, like I said, require my fellow carriers to help out with that. But we're getting there. We're getting there. But again, if you hear Rolando say he's going to put somebody up to run against Brian, just dismiss it. Tell him to pound sand, because we don't trust them. At least I don't trust them. Do what you want to, but I don't trust them. And if anyone wants to go into further detail about that, I'll let you know how Rolando failed us as TEs and didn't do much after that. Want to update you guys on the law efforts. I have received some callbacks from law offices. Haven't had a chance to talk to them yet, but I'm off today on Thursday. So this afternoon, later this morning, I am going to give them a call back to see where I stand with regard to suing the USPS as well as NALC, because both are complicit. Both have failed to live up to the pay comparability law. It's federal law, and this law does not say the post office has to make money in order to pay us. It does not say that at all. If there's a news article I've been sharing, DeJoy, this was in 2023. DeJoy is the second highest paid federal employee in the United States, behind the president. So if they can pay him all that money, and then there's other executives there that are earning anywhere from $250,000 to $500,000 a year. Like, I think Tolino, he's a high-ranking, a high-paid federal employee. So if they get money with management there, they got money to get to us. If they have to increase the price of Spurs a little bit, increase the prices of postage, do what they got to do, increase the price, the contract for Amazon or whoever, if they got to increase that a little bit, do what they got to do to pay us. It makes no sense that they can do that. If they have to get rid of some of that management, get rid of some people who are sitting there doing covert spying on us, that's against all the rules and contracts or whatever, get rid of them. Get rid of that management, the abusive management. Instead of shipping them from one station to another station, fire those bad managers out there. And again, I'm asking the question: why do we need both? If you're in a station, why do you need both the postmaster and a supervisor? One person can fill that role, depending on the size of the office. You don't need both the postmaster and a supervisor. No, those roles are overlapping one another. Just have one person there, a postmaster that can fulfill the role of both the supervisor and the postmaster there. It doesn't make any sense why we need to have two people there, and especially in a smaller office or whatnot. But anyway, there's just a lot of overlap, a lot of things that they can do at the post office to do. And I liked how, I think it was Mr. Miller that was on from Ada Arbitration, how he mentioned that USPS is basically subsidizing these publishing companies, because these publishing companies, they're lobbyists and they're on executive boards and they're making these six figures, so they don't want to increase the price. So we're subsidizing these publisher companies because they don't want to pay any more, but yet they can fill their bottom line without paying more. And so after this election, those who win their election, guys, we need to mobilize and ask Congress to say, hey, we need to do an independent audit of the post office. We need to say to Congress and the Senate that they are violating federal law, and we need this reviewed. We need to get DeJoy, Tolino, Brian, all up there on Capitol Hill, and I'll go up there myself too. I'll be invited up there. Me, Corey, Tyler. I'd be happy to go up there to say, hey, you guys are violating federal law with this. Or even Mr. Miller. He's more knowledgeable than I am. Bring him up there. Or Mr. Henry. We can all roll up there to Congress as witnesses to testify, to say, hey, this is what's going on. They are in violation of this law. And then I can mention that, and then the Coreys and Tylers and Millers and Mr. Henry can talk about their experiences there too, based on what they know, a little more inside baseball than what I do. Because I'm pretty much just an outsider looking in, reading things right now. But yeah, we need to get on that after this election on Wednesday. Let's get to it. Those who won, If they're the incumbent in your area, great. Start talking to them. If they're new in there, get their names, numbers, and get ready to hit it up. Starting January next year, we need to get an independent audit. We need to get the federal government involved to say, hey, they're in violation of federal law. We need to get that going. So again, this is the fighting carrier. So we got to fight any way that we can, and because it's us versus NALC, it's us versus USPS right now. So we gotta fight. We're gonna get this going. But anyway, like I said, update on law efforts. I'm gonna give them a call today. Those law officers that called me to see where I stand, to see what I can do. If there's a case, if there is a case, it's going to cost money that I don't have, being a Table 2 carrier. But like I said, I will update that if we can get some whatever happens with that. If it requires some funding, I will mention it. Set up a GoFundMe just so we can pay the lawyer or whatever to try to sue the USPS and NALC for failure to live up to the federal law. And again, we want to ask Congress too for an audit for the books, because we know they pay millions of dollars in grievances, millions of dollars to management. Some of the audit money could be back. It could be in our pockets. There's no reason why we shouldn't be paid more than UPS. And there's no reason why it should take 11 to 13 years to reach the top step. There's no reason whatsoever. I think Mr. Miller mentioned that when he started back in the day, it was like a $3,000 or $6,000 difference between the bottom pay and the top pay. Now the gap is so huge, it makes no sense. The fast food employees are making more money than starting CCAs. It makes no sense for that. So we gotta fight. We gotta keep fighting. I'm not gonna give up. Like I said, it's 1:00 in the morning right now. This is what I'm gonna do. And until I'm blue in the face or until I turn gray, I will be fighting, and until we get that change in there. Like I said, I'm a CLC supporter. We're gonna do what we can do to fight. So now here's the exciting thing I was thinking about today. And I was delivering my route. I was just, got a mounted route. Here's what I was thinking about: a future plan, future goals, and tell me what you think about this. Those who watch this later today or tomorrow, whenever, and just send me a comment and tell me what you think about this. I'm thinking I want to put together, and like I said, this is gonna require some crowdfunding. What I'm thinking about doing is setting up some kind of news network or some kind of network entitled the Letter Carrier Network. And basically what this network is going to be about is, it's going to require a lot of people, a lot of content creators, people such as myself, the Angry Mailman, or others who do this. But think of the Letter Carrier Network as a one-stop shop, a news network type thing. And some ideas I want to have on this show, on this network, would be either a monthly or weekly steward training show. Where those who are stewards, who have been stewards for a number of years, can come on here and and train others to have a course each week or each month on different training sessions, that work in the past, that are currently working, so that all stewards can be on the same page. The one thought, one force to reckon with. I was thinking too, even with the steward training, that can include role playing or whatever, or that could be a separate channel of role playing, aka how to respond when management says this. If management says this, how do you respond? If management asks you, Well, I see on the scanner here you were sitting there for 6 minutes. What were you doing? How would you respond to that? Or things like that. Or if management asks you to fill out a 96, 3096 for your route, how would you respond? Or when it was the things that management does, what different questions that they ask you, how can you respond? How should you respond? Little things like that. Because we know sometimes management can catch you off guard. They know we're humans. We may be tired, sick, or something. They may say the wrong thing. Or, how would you respond to this situation? How would you respond to that situation? All within your rights. And then maybe have separate channels dedicated. One channel dedicated to the JCAM, to all the rights there. Just one channel is for that JCAM. Another channel would be the M41. Another one, the M39. Have channels have 3 different channels dedicated to these things, and then have another channel, which Corey, he does this already. So, this would be done if he ever retires. This would be something to add to, but a channel dedicated to arbitration as well. How to go to arbitration, how to fight, what we could say, what we could do, what to ask for, and again, that could be a part of steward training as well too. So steward training, arbitration, that's probably going to be about the same thing you can do. But the reason why I'm thinking about this, we got to think about how management is doing things now. See, this is the primary goal, is that management, when you see it, they're all united. And when they get that memo, when they get that telecom, management is on the same page. Management here in Nebraska is going to do the same thing that management does in Ohio, or Texas, or California, or Maine, or wherever you're at. Management is going to be on the same page. Whereas NALC is not. Each region does its own thing. They respond differently. They move differently. They file grievances differently. The point of this page would be, or this news network would be, to get everyone on the same page. This news network will be an extension of the CLC. Because you think about right now, NALC, they have their own media, media email you can talk to. They can respond and things of that nature. And so this would be an extension of the CLC, this news network. And if anyone is listening to this, please, if you know some people in the CLC, mention this to them. Let them know my idea of what I want to do, because we need to be united. We need to be on the same page. What region 1 does here should be the same thing as region 2. How they respond. So, when Henry is there, when he's the president, we gotta be of one mind. We gotta be in one direction. All of us, NBAs, gotta be doing the same thing, filing the same grievances the exact same way, and filtering that down to our stewards and say, hey, this is how we want to do this. This is what we're going to do with this grievance. And so we need to be on the same page, because management, they're on the same page. They're going to do the exact same thing. And so I was just thinking about that, and I was actually inspired by that labor network show that's on YouTube. They got their own little show, a talk show. Like I said, Corey called in, and it's to rebut what Renfroe said. So we appreciate that. But for this channel to work, of course, we need the crowdfunding or something to do this. They need to bring a bunch of people in, people that can carry out carry out their own shows, whatnot. Those who's more knowledgeable than me, more experienced than I do. Me, I'm pretty much just the ideas guy. I am the fighter too. I will fight. Like I said, I've read the JChem and the other menus before. I got to redo it again. And I'm just a guy. I'm a carrier, but I'm also a guy that just sees things and reads things and know that this is just not right. This is not right. But I will be a fighter. I will be a fighter. So my role with this network will continue to do this fighting carrier network, but also just act as the CEO of this and bring together a team that we can put together something for this network. But I would like to keep us, because when you look out now, there's a lot of people doing this, a lot of people on podcasts, a lot of different shows and things. But if we can bring some of these shows together into one network, to one area, right there, including from 8 arbitration or whatever. I know they got their own thing, but just throwing out there, if we can just bring a one-stop shop and bring in all these different people, all these different shows to come in, and put their posts up. And again, I want to keep it streamlined. I want to have it done a certain way. But I think if we had this one-stop shop, we all had the same type of training, the same type of way we're going to fight different things that come out from the post office, the better we're going to be. Because what's the old saying? United we stand, divided we fall. So if we are united in this, USPS will never stand a chance. USPS should fear us. They should fear us when we go into negotiations. They should fear us when we say we're going to grieve this, and they should fear us when we say we're going to go to arbitration, because we should win most of our cases. So that is my thing with that. Just let me know. You can share this information with the CLC members. This is what I plan on doing in the future. Hopefully, I'm actually thinking about next Tuesday or next Wednesday when I get paid again, just to go ahead and file an LLC with this and to get this name going, and maybe even getting a website going with this. What am I calling it? The LCN, the Letter Carrier Network, and again, just so we can all be on the same page. But let me know your thoughts with that. Is it a good idea, bad idea? Can we add to it, take away? Just give me your thoughts, because there are people out there a lot smarter than I am. I'm just in this public space for the first time, trying to do this. But again, I'm here just trying to fight for you, fight for all of us, because we deserve better. I am 40-something years old, 2 bad knees, a bad foot, limping around here. That's why I got a monitor right now. And we've sacrificed our bodies. We've been chased by dogs, attacked by dogs. We've been in the rain. We've been in the snow. We've been in the extreme heat. We've been in the wind. And we're just treated like peasants. It's time for us to fight. So please like, follow, and share. Another thing too, with this Letter Carrier Network too, yes, it's true. I'm asking for maybe crowdfunding and whatnot, but in actuality, what I would like to do though is get to the point to where it's big enough to where I can bring in some advertisement, because I do want to keep it. I do want to keep it free, just like crowdfunding, just to get things started. And if you have your own business that you do outside of your garage, I got my own business too. I will use those sales to advertise on that site as well too. But if you have a business that you do at home, that can be part of the advertisement to get it going, to get your name out there as letter carriers, because we gotta do what we gotta do to take care of our families. Like I said, some people are working second jobs. Some people are living out of their cars. It's sad. It's sad, but we gotta do what we gotta do. We gotta fight. So the initial cost, like I said, be the crowdfunding, but then I want to keep it to where it's free for everybody to go in, and to do that, I want to bring in some outside advertisements as well as that gets bigger and bigger. And like I said, I'm willing to put my money up for my sales and my business too. So, but just let me know what you guys think. And again, I'm excited. I will let you guys know how things go when I call the law offices today, and we go from there. But y'all have a good night. It is 1:30 a.m. and I think I'm about to go to the gym. So I'll catch y'all the next time. Take care.